welcome back. As we deal with inflation and the rising cost of everything, our youngest family members see their parents struggle, so it's critical to introduce the importance of financial literacy to our kids. Tammy Trenta, founder and CEO of Family Financial, is joining us now with ways to start that conversation. Tammy, good morning, and thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Alyse.
All right, let's dive into this. I mean, with a fun fact about you, I saw this and was like, I have to ask her about that. So it was what, season 5, The Apprentice, and you made it to the top 5. What was that experience like?
It was a really interesting experience. I like to equate it to boot camp versus like boot camp meets paintball wars, where you're being hunted. But you're learning and you're competing with people who you normally wouldn't see in an interview process. So it's pretty intense.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I can't. So who won your season? Because I'm trying to think back to some of the earlier seasons. Who won season 5?
It was someone named Sean. He was a British guy.
Okay. Well, hey, top 5, you go, girl. That's definitely a fun thing to have on the resume, and what an experience I could imagine. All right, let's start with this. I mean, a lot of adults struggle to talk about money with each other, you know, with a financial planner. So how on earth do you even begin to have this conversation with your child?
Well, I don't think there's a age where it's too early. Once they start to talk and understand, you can have conversations with them. So when they're really young, you could use a point system if they aren't yet grasping the concept of money. We do that, and if our son is 6, but we've kind of transitioned him to money, but we started with points. And so if you get a certain amount of points, and points are awarded for, helping with the dishes, making their bed, good behavior. And it teaches them to have a goal and to work towards a goal and to achieve the goal. So when you're young, using something like that could be very helpful.
Yeah,
and as you get older, you can transition to dollars. So like my son's goal right now is Disney. And, it's expensive to go to Disneyland. And so we have Disney dollars that we save. And the other day he said to me, Mom, what if I use this to buy Twix bars? And I said, well, you certainly can, but then you don't have enough, for Disney dollars. And it teaches them to prioritize their goals and also help them understand delayed gratification.
Sure, that's the real world, son. That's how you learn, right? I love it. What a great idea. Okay, so you mentioned the point system. Something else that you recommend, a savings jar and just goal setting to earn. You mentioned your son trying to save up for Disney World. But what about a budget? I mean, how can you have that conversation with your child since they are young when it comes to, budgeting and expenses and all of that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, we had a Halloween budget since Halloween is coming up. And when we were talking, I said, okay, this is how much we have to spend. And he was able to go and choose things that he wanted, and he'd have to give up things that he didn't want. So it's just teaching them to focus on what's important or something that they need over something that they want. And you could do it with a school project. I mean, it could be anything where you give them a set amount of money and then they have to prioritize it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I think that's something that, so many of us wish had been done with us so that we could have those basic foundation, those skills in place. So definitely helpful. How about giving back? Is there a way to incorporate kids into, having that conversation about charity, Tammy?
Yes. And I think that can be done in multiple ways. I think some families will give them the budget, and then they have to be able to prioritize an amount that they're giving back. I like to really bring them into that idea of giving, where they're actually doing something or contributing. And it also gives them some perspective to see how, not everyone is as fortunate. There's people who have needs, and just being able to help, and the feeling and sense of accomplishment from helping somebody out is really a great skill to build.
All right, let's wrap it up with this one, Tammy. How do we lead by example, right? I mean, we mentioned that our kids are watching. They notice so much more than what we even realize. So what is it appropriate to show them about our budget and to share with our kids about our financial situation?
Yeah, so that can be tricky because, we don't necessarily want to tell them any dollar amounts that we've saved for them or have them rely on anything like that. But certainly children learn from the habits of their parents. And, I know when I was growing up, we didn't talk about money at all. And I think that should be an open conversation with your children, understanding what things cost. And if you as a parent are demonstrating good financial habits and you can incorporate your child into those discussions at a level that makes sense from them, that's the best way that they will learn those foundational skills that they will need when they become adults.
Tammy, how can we learn more about you and about Family Financial?
So I'm on LinkedIn. So you can search Tammy Trenta, and I also have a website, familyfinancial.biz, and I'm on all social media platforms.
All right, Tammy Trenta with some very useful tips for us this morning, talking about money with our kids. Tammy with Family Financial. Thank you so much, Tammy. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Alyse. Have a good day.